Hi everyone, I'm Shannon. I'm with Toronto GTA Singles. I host events for single people of all ages and demographic groups. There's also a matchmaking project happening right now. It's for people who are ages 50 plus, people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and up, and open to people who are open to dating that age group. For more information, send us a message on one of our social media pages. Now, this video is going to be for the ladies today. Why for ladies? Because ladies fall into this more often than men do. Of course, men are subject to situationships, but this one's specifically for the ladies. So, I want to help you save your time, energy, and emotions and not enter into a situationship. And here's how you can do it. The first thing is maintain very firm boundaries. State your expectations, state your parameters very early on. Do not accept as an answer from a guy, oh, I want to see where things go. No. It's not going to be like that. No. You're going to state what you're looking for. And yes, you are looking for solid relationships, a commitment, potentially, like, state if you're looking for a certain level of relationship at some point. Doesn't have to be now, doesn't have to be with this person, but eventually you would like so and so type of relationship. Now, you can help to weed out the people who are only looking to entertain you for the sake of a situationship by avoiding the following things. If the man is only calling you last minute or mostly last minute, oftentimes at night, to hang out at night, to do Netflix and chill, to come over, or for you to come over to his place, and not actively planning dates, we call this low effort behavior. That doesn't take any effort to come to somebody's house, right? So avoid this. Make sure the person is actively being creative and carving out time for you in their schedule, planning a date that does not involve going to somebody's house. Some dates should take place during the daylight hours, not just at night. Do not tell the guy from the get-go, from the very beginning, after how many dates he is going to get it. And you know what I'm talking about when I say it. That's He's not entitled to that information. That should be private. That's reserved for you, okay? Because I've heard of this happening. No impromptu showing up at your place and asking you to come out downstairs, come out to your door at 11 p.m., 12 a.m. No, there's going to be none of that happening. No last minute things of that nature. Sorry. No. Uh, there's guys who are nickel and diming with women about dates. Now, I'm not a supporter of doing expensive dates or spending a lot of money on dates very early on. I'd like to suggest something that's very low cost, something that does not require a lot of pressure on either party, a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. I know that there's this big backlash right now about saying no to coffee dates, and I don't understand what it's all about, because having a coffee date, especially for the first date, is an excellent idea in my opinion. You keep things casual, you're able to exit, you're doing it in a public place. You can limit it to 1 hour and then see where it goes after that point. You're not committing to a whole lot by doing a coffee date. There's no pressure on one person to get the bill as opposed to the other person. It's just a coffee. It's a $5 coffee, right? So I recommend doing this. However, there's some men who won't even do a coffee. They'll be like, from the get go, come over to my place. I want to cook you dinner. But we all know we're not born yesterday. We know what that's code language for, okay? Uh, there's some guys who, don't want to take a woman out. They prefer to have a private time at their place. No, that's reserved for later on. That's not for the beginning. I'm sorry. Cough up $5 and offer to take the woman to a public space for a coffee. That should be the bare minimum. Another thing is men who are coming straight out of other relationships, who are using or seeking a new woman right off the bat a, for a rebound, and seeking emotional support from her, venting to her about his ex, about his past relationship. No, he can go to a therapist, he can go to a trusted friend or family member, a community leader, somebody else. He doesn't need to be, you don't need to be providing all of this emotional support to him from the jump, from the beginning, just when you've just met him. It's not appropriate. Maintain your boundaries. There's no going with the flow. Guys who talk about going with the flow, you're not a river, as they say. You're not going with the flow. It's going to be intentional. You're going to state what you're looking for. You're going to state what you want, and do not be afraid to push somebody away by being too upfront about what your goals are in dating. No, you need to know what you want. It's You're not going into this just for fun, right? Especially if you're at a certain age and you're looking to start a family and the time is ticking for a woman, you don't want to be wasting time like this. So you might have a guy ghost you because on the first date you say, I'm looking for marriage within 3 to 5 years. That's fine. Filter out those people. It's the wrong person. If they're not for you, it's okay. It's better to know now than later. So some guys will, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, trick you into believing that there's a future with you. They might set things up and use certain languages or language to make you believe that they actually want to have a serious relationship with you. Meanwhile, they're not giving you a title, they're not stating like they're not labeling the relationship, they're delaying that, and they're just dragging things on. No, don't agree to that. Have a parameter in your mind, whether it's a certain amount of months or whatnot. Have an idea, have a number. Of course, you can be flexible, but have a general idea of how long you're willing to casually date until you want to label this as a real relationship. Having the label as mutually exclusive is not the same as having a committed relationship. Being calling somebody your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whatever it is. People who want to just use this term mutually exclusive, no, it's not a thing. Do not settle for this. Do not accept it. Pay attention to the person's actions, because even though they're talking all of this nice language to you, what are they doing to back it up? What steps are they taking? How much action are they putting in? How much effort are they putting in? Say no to low effort behavior. I'm not suggesting that you expect the world from a guy, especially when you're first dating him. But I think you need to have realistic expectations, and realistic is what is for you. We all determine that for ourselves. You're not going to expect this guy to take you out on $200 dinners and wine and dine you from the get go when he has, he might have young children, or he might have a mortgage to pay or other bills. Like, I don't think that's fair to expect him to be taking you to the opera every weekend and like, no. But things should be reasonable. And by effort, it doesn't have to be about money. It could be about, is this guy making effort to plan? Is he calling the restaurant ahead of time to make sure they're stocking your favorite wine, or they have your favorite beverage or your dessert? He's paying attention to what your favorite dessert is, and he's looking for that and bringing that to the picnic next time you guys meet up. That's effort. That doesn't cost a lot. So you got to be ready to walk away within a certain time frame if this guy is not matching your parameters. And you've got to be able to do this without being emotionally invested. Hold on to your emotions. And here's a tip that you might not like. But before that, I want to talk about checking in. If, let's say, you have a time frame of, we're going to date casually for 3 months. After that 3 months, this guy needs to know if we're going to be in a relationship or not. Check in during that time and say, hey, how is it going? So, like, what are you feeling? Don't be afraid to have the talk. Go ahead and have it, right? And this is what I was going to go to before I started talking about this. The piece of advice that you may not like, but is very important if you really, really want to avoid a situationship, if you really want to make sure you're attracting a quality partner, and there's a future with this person, you want to keep them closed. And I'm not talking about doors. You know what I'm talking about. Keep them closed and just wait. Do whatever you need to do to maintain whatever you need to maintain. You need to have an outlet for whatever you need to do, what you need to do, okay? I'm not going to spill it out for you. Be creative. But this is like the biggest indicator because if you are not invested intimately with this person, uh he's not going to waste his time for much longer if he's just in it for fun and casual stuff and games, or just doesn't want anything serious. He's not going to be putting effort into making dates. He's not going to be, he might still call you every day because he's getting something out of that, but he's not going to be carving time out of his schedule for you, especially if he has a lot of commitments. If he has multiple jobs, he owns a business, he has children, he has commitments, he has elders, he has to take elder parents, he has to take care of. He has whatever it is. That's the biggest thing I can tell you. And I know that it's very difficult. That's why I'm saying find another outlet for this energy that you have, but keep them closed. And that's my 2 cents. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, but I wish you the best in love and especially self love in your dating life as well. I hope you find your person, regardless of how long it takes, but keep that self love alive and know that you deserve better. You don't need to be accepting anybody just because you feel lonely or time is ticking. You need to hurry up and have kids, or you want to have intimacy with somebody. It's worth the wait. Just wait, and it's all going to be worth it in the end. Thank you for listening. I hope this was useful for you. If you liked this, do me a favor, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you and have a lovely day.